Well, hello everyone. Salutations and a big green floppy one to you all. Um, Unclejona here, once again, back doing some more beer reviews. And I'm doing another one from the single hop beer 52 box. I do have some other beers, but yeah, maybe for another day. This is a weird one because I was excited. It's this one, Multinational, which is Saskatchewan in Canada. But you will see that, alas, or maybe not alas, it is actually brewed by these guys, the Garden. Oh, where is it? Down a bit, down a bit. The Garden Brewery. There we go. Who are Czech, I think, or Croatian, something like that. And I have a beer from them as well. I think there's no articles in the magazine about them, but there is about the Garden Brewery. But yeah, we've spoken about those before, dear viewer. If you would like to know, you can wait till I drink that beer and I'll tell you all about the Garden Brewery. Or why don't you subscribe to my channel and then you can look at the back catalogue, the Garden Brewery. Or meet me on Untapped. They're definitely on there too. So here it is. It is the multinational El Dorado single hopped pale ale. Bit of a mouthful. And it says New England yeast, esters, and a dry West Coast finish give a good base to showcase El Dorado's pineapple, pear, and tropical fruits. The dry West Coast finish allows fruit-forward yeast esters to pop and blend with the hop profile. Nice, yeah. So yeah, that is quite cool. And I believe, let's see if it says on here. I don't know if this is actually in English. I don't know. It's not in English. There we go. Water, hops, yeast. That is it. And it even says there, brewed and canned at the Garden Brewery, Croatia, and then imported back to the UK. You can tell because it's a 330 can. If it wasn't, if it was a what's the American one? Is it 325 or 375? I can't remember. No, 355. That's the Americanism. But Canada comes in this. Right. So if you recycle aluminium, do not drive a car. If you do recycle, you have to be over 18. And if you're a vegan, make sure you avoid pregnant ladies because, as you well know, dear viewer, there's nothing a pregnant lady hates more than a vegan. Yeah, interesting stuff. And look, there's a sort of squid kind of dude on that can, which is cool. So a bit, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one. Meant to be a it's a Canadian recipe using El Dorado, which is American hops, brewed in Croatia. It's multinational time, and then imported into the UK. Now I knocked this beer over earlier on, getting it out of the fridge because I'm a spaz, and I've got to open it very carefully because, as you well know, I like to get spaz juice all over my jeans. No, sometimes if I if it gets a bit too lively, it does end up all over my jeans, and it's no good. These are near enough a fresh pair too. Right, let us get this bad boy into the glass, and we shall see what we will get. Oh, I thought there might be some haze. It just went in right at the end. Purple haze. Right, let's try and get that thing in there. There we go. Somewhere like that, and that will say cheers and beers and all my dears and all that kind of stuff, and then cheesy grin for you. And that, dear viewer, will become the thumbnail for this video. So yeah, because I dumped that haziness in there, it has become hazy. It was pouring quite clear, but that is definitely a hazy bad boy. Headwise, half a finger. Yeah, we'll call that half a finger of fluffy white, pure as the driven snow head, and that's gonna hang around a bit. No oats or yeast in this, so interesting. That's how we roll in Canada, or is it Croatia? Who knows? But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting one. Right, let's see what we get. Hmm, that's a bit weird. Yeah, I'm definitely getting pineapple, but more sort of pineapple chunks, if you remember that, and not if you puke. I mean pineapple chunks, the kind of sweets that you used to get. So it's got a sweetness to it too. It does also have pear as well. Interesting. Yeah. So far, yeah, so far so good. And what's interesting here, similar to they've been a little bit cheeky because they've used normal El Dorado hops in there, but they've also used El Dorado cryo hop, which is basically a kind of concentrated version. It's not. I don't think it is a pellet. They make everything into pellets, but they do some extra processing on it to remove more of the vegetal matter, more of the green stuff. Because essentially, what you need from the hops really is just the powder, the lupulin. Although having greenness in there gives a different character to the hop, to the beer, essentially. And some people literally just put lupulin powder. Um, but cryo hop is kind of filtering it out a little bit more. I think there's some sort of freeze dried kind of process and all this kind of weird chemistry. Jesus, what these brewers do these days, absolutely nuts. Anyway, cheers and beers. Um, Midweek, we're almost at the end of the week, so let's see what we can do with this one. Shum on. Hmm, interesting. Oh, so as I was drinking, initial thoughts were cream. This is nice and creamy, which is weird considering there's no oats in here, allegedly. Um, but then it goes into the kind of sweet kind of pineapple. Then it descends into the pear is a little bit more sour. It's not like a sweet pear; it's a normal kind of sour pear, not like a dessert. Um, I was going to say pear drops, but it's not because that's a sweet kind of pear. But sometimes you get Um, yeah, you do get sour pear sweets, and that's kind of what it's like. Then it descends and it goes back to the kind of pineapple-y, mm, tropical type thing. I'm not really picking up any other kind of tropical fruits as such, but it's kind of like that pineapple juice that you get, and sometimes it's got other things in it. Usually, apple is the base of a lot of juices here in the UK. Um, but who knows what goes on in Croatia? My God, all I know about them is their football team has that weird red and white stripy number, a bit like Where's Wally, that kind of thing. Right, let's dive in for some more. Okay, this is melding together a bit more. So the pear and the pineapple are now kind of merged nicely together. Um, it's really fresh, actually. For a pale ale, did I say how strong it was? Perhaps I didn't. 4.9. Sorry, dear viewer. I usually do say such things. He says, as the camera is not focusing very well. Ah, believe me, it's 4.9% on the ABV. So let's call it 5 between friends. But it tastes a lot lighter. Really fresh. Pardon me. That's what happens when you drink beer quite quickly and talk. You should know this if you're a subscriber of mine. Belching is one of those things that does happen. Um, and we should not hide away from these things. Makes life a lot more interesting when you have a few belches, like in the BFG. You kind of float into the air, isn't that right? Or is it Is it farting? I can't remember which way round it is, but nah. I think the cleanness comes from the use of the cryo hop, and I'm imagining that they're using it for the kind of dry hopping, because it's really fresh and quite punchy. Um, yeah, no taste of any kind of greenness here. This is pure tropical, pure sort of juice, but not a juicy kind of hazy milkshakey thing. That's not what I mean. I mean the actual hops, really crisp. You can definitely taste the hops in here. Little bit of residual sweetness from the malts too, which is nice. And I'm looking over here, apparently just extra pale in there, which is weird because the colour is not quite pale enough to just be that. So I think they're being economic there with the truth, and there's some other kind of malt in there too. Of course, if it was single malt and single hop, it would be what's called a smash beer. Single malt and single hop smash. And when I used to do brewing in my homebrew days, which will come back, um, yeah, we used to do smash brews quite a lot, and that's really, really why I love single hop beers. In this case, it's El Dorado, but this is a really good showcase example of what that hop can do. It's going to score high points. Weirdly, when I'm looking on the Beer 52 website and on Untapped as well to some degree, some people mark a beer as in, oh, I don't like it, and that's if they say anything at all. Some people, they just score a low score and don't actually say why. If you're going to do beer scoring and take it properly, oh, and if you're thinking about it, he says, dropping everything on the ground, why not think about, if you live in this area, joining the Kent Camera Tasting Panel, who are always searching for great beer, led by me, Jonah, Kent Tasting Panel Chair, beer reviewer, which is what I'm doing, but I'm also doing camera judging. But yeah, if you're a member of Camera, try and get on one of their tasting panels. You get some good training, and it really helps you understand beer and styles. Um, you can deep dive into it, and one day I might do a video explaining the iceberg that is camera beer judging, or beer judging in general, because it's not just camera that do it. BJCP do it too, and I've been a judge at one of their events as well. Hey, I'm a lucky man to drink a lot of beer. um all I was going to say was, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's worthwhile going outside your comfort zone, drinking a beer or a beer style that either you've not liked previously, or is something that you don't have very often. Um, don't just drink the same beers over and over and over. My advice to you all, go out and drink lots of wonderful beer. That was a good one. I'm liking that one. So there we go. That is multinational. I guess you could say it is multinational beer, but that's what the brewery's called in Szechuan, up in Canada. It's the El Dorado single hopped pale ale at 4.9%. Really nice. Lives up to the style. Fantastic. Guys, this has been your loving Uncle Jonah, waxing lyrical and hopefully entertaining you to some degree anyway. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and Uncle Jonah will return with another beer review real soon.